Hey, Bucks here. So, I haven't done a lineup update in a while. I don't know why I used to do these more frequently. I haven't done them in a bit. So, I want to go through and talk about the strategy around building this lineup and any lineup. And obviously, there's some guys in here, Cooper Kupp, that I got today that I probably won't keep long term. We'll talk about that, who's best, and what kind of things you want to look for in different schemes. But first, we'll take a look at today's sponsor. Rock Bottom Coins is the #1 place to get your Madden coins. If you make coins for my videos, sell them to Rock Bottom. If you're buying, use my code GUTBOX for 10% off. So, all right. Here's my offense. I'm just going to give you an overview. Offense, here's my defense. Overall, we're going to go through each position, what they do for me and what I want out of them. Special teams, right there. Specialists. Okay, right here. We're going to, again, go over all this in a bit. Strategy items, sprinter and bull rush. And then I run a pass-balanced offense and the alternate 46 defense. Obviously, those defensive, offensive ebooks are up in the membership area of the YouTube channel. You can become a member. I appreciate everybody that is a member watching those. Hopefully, those help. But we're going to kind of go through each position. I think I'm going to start with my overview of my offense. Okay, so I run the spread. So basically, I'm in shotgun almost the whole time. I've only got one set the entire game with a fullback, and that is goal line. So William Perry, not really a big deal, and he's basically a kick returner. I do have Jim Taylor. Now, I really will get degenerative on folks at times, and Gronkowski with his Vanguard is a big portion of that because it automatically just, runs over everybody. So definitely try and get the level 51 as much as you can, as this is just overpowered as heck in the run game. Don't tell anybody this, but Madden 23 is actually a very easy game to run the ball in. It's probably the easiest game to run the ball in since Madden 20. But anyways, I also have short in on him. You could go with deep out, deep in, whatever you want to do. If you want to do seam streaks or, those outside deep passes, Gronk's also really good there. Gronk's okay getting separation to man coverage. He's not the best tight end I've used all year. I got Delaney and Owen Daniels. So if I really want to get degenerative, and I have done this, I've gone to split back, and I talked about this in my ebook. My second channel has a video of me doing this exact offense. I went to the split back offset. So basically, I'm running swing screens and then audibling down to goal line with these guys as my short in elites, and then I could just put them at each of the receiver spots, and then have two running backs, Fournette and Bettis, that also have short and elite. I think the best running back in the game, I'm running Fournette today because he's new, and he's actually really good. Bo Jackson, really good too. Incredible. All these guys with free short in are incredible in the pass game because they get separation to man coverage. Quadfather or King Henry are still the best two in the game, though, in my opinion. Absolutely glitched out. That ability to break the first tackle is stupid. We'll talk about on defense how we try and solve our opponent's issues. On offense, I got nasty streak, nasty streak, nasty streak. I got secure protectors, threat detectors, secure protector identifier here. I really think the secure protectors or edge protectors on the tackles are still needed in the game because you do go against guys running edge threats. I've definitely gone up in the last couple days with against edge threats a couple times. The nasty streaks are there in case I want to run the ball against Dollar. They actually destroy, dude. If you want to choose between Kelsey and Tornado, I don't really have a preference right now. Tornado makes this new Ezra Cleveland 99 overall and crazy high. So yeah, 95 agility, 94 speed, 96 acceleration at left guard now. That's actually just absurd. And I actually prefer Kelsey at guard over maybe Yanda, because Kelsey's also got 90 speed, whereas Yanda's speed, if I was pulling him, he kind of gets mixed up a little bit. It's only 75 speed with the bonus versus 90 on Kelsey, so it might be a better idea to kind of retire Marshall Yanda, move Kelsey back out to right guard, and then put Tornado there at center. So I'll think about that and doing that going forward. The issue is I'm kind of short on Legends Chem, but some of these guys are going to hit the bricks like Cooper Kupp. We'll talk about that in a second. So that's kind of my offensive line. Really, the only thing that I really need is this identifier and secure protectors, because I'm a passer and I want to see where my opponents, because sometimes my opponents will go off and play like cornerbacks at time because of how I like to attack the field. I like to attack all portions of the field out of different sets in the pass balance. So with that said, Gronk, we talked about the tight ends, how overpowered he is. I'll use him in different situations, either like in a backside, like a split back, like an 0-1, not 0-1 trap, but like a inside zone split. But really, I do got him out there ahead of me just to flatten dudes. At quarterback, Tom Brady, I feel like he's the best in the game right now. I can see the argument for Mahomes. The problem with Mahomes is there's a glitch. Sometimes when you identify a blitzer, you can't snap the ball. So for that reason, because I'm in so many different sets, usually I don't want to like test out like which sets have the glitch, which sets don't. I just go with Brady. But the argument for Mahomes is definitely there in my opinion. I got Omaha X Factor on him, the ability to set feet lead, free gunslinger. Right there, Gunslinger, Fearless, and Hot Rod Master. I think Fearless is a need. I gotta know when he spent account. I'll do a video over the nobody spent account, and the best way of doing that, where it's like a 92 overall, and like the biggest thing I missed, right? I got like Adam Thielen, 92 wide receiver, and I still think Fearless is the number one thing that I'm missing on my field right now with Aaron Rodgers versus, say, Tom Brady's 95. So I'm running Tom Brady. He's fast. He's got an okay motion with Gunslinger. It's not anything insane, but I can see the argument around other guys, but I think he's the best quarterback in the game right now for me. Leonard Fournette, I went through this one. Warwick Dunn, like honestly, you really don't need anybody else. Warwick Dunn is good enough. And actually incredible back with free evasive, free short in too. I think Harold Carmichael and George Pickens are the best receivers in the game right now. The argument is there for MVS. The argument is there for AJ Green without a doubt. Those two are right there. And if you guys prefer one of those two over him, that's fine. I sold off my MVS. He was really good. Don't get me wrong. He's really good. He's just going for like 900K. So I think I sold him off over that. Garrett Wilson's fine, but I really want Legends Chem, so I think AJ Green will end up being my long-term solution at wide receiver 3 right now over Cooper Kupp, but I want to try him out today. He was fine, nothing extraordinarily special about him, but so I'll end up just taking him out of my lineup and then subbing in somebody else there here shortly. I have Roddy White with free honorary lineman, like I talked about with Jim Taylor, if I want to put him in there for any sort of like, running game. I like to do bubbles against some guys and maybe heavy blitzing, so throw honorary linemen out there or throw like Gronk's Vanguard or some tight ends to block, depending on how I feel. Like just right there for position flexibility for my team. I got Ogden here. I could run any legend backup quarterback. Don't really care. I know it might be a better idea to run with somebody bigger and better and faster for fake field goals. I don't really fake field goals that much, so I just went with the thickest guy possible because it's hilarious. Carmichael, I know people have talked about he's got like stamina issues. I have not used a more dominant receiver this entire year since like Parham, since this wide receiver. He is silly good, like silly good. I can't even explain how good this card has been for me. An absolute game changer outrunning players. Same thing with Pickens over there. They are just my 1-2 of terror on the outside. The only thing that really can shut them down is maybe a deep out KO that takes a few steps and touches you and slightly. But otherwise, these guys have been absolutely raw burners and have gotten me a lot of touchdowns just on straight streaks down the field, beating guys that even try pressing me. So short in, short out on Pickens because I have him on C routes as my C route demon. Also streaks with short out against man press is a one-play touchdown. So I have short out, deep out elite, and route tech on Carmichael, which makes him into a demon-esque type of receiver too. He can beat you with any route with route tech, even the route tech kind of busted. Short out for press man, and he'll instant win touchdowns, and it happens. He wins press man in interactions faster than any other receiver I've used this year. Carmichael is just wild how quickly he gets past press man. And then this is really for either short in or a route tech. Right now, AJ Green's got a free route tech, so that's who we're using. So that's kind of my offense, but you got to know what positions that you can run a C route on. I have Hot Route Master, so I can audible C routes and any outside receiver, because that's where you want your short in and short out potentially in case you see press man, then you just send it. Then here, I need this receiver to beat both some weird posts I got in my lineup, and there's like weird corner routes too that I use often. That short in and short out don't really work. I need like mid in or mid out on it, so I just go route tech on the receiver on the left. So it really depends on what routes you have for what you want, either route tech or short in, as far as what to beat it. So that's kind of my offense. It's a very specifically tailored offense to my book, to my ebook, but it kind of carries over to a lot of other books. So if you look at the entire middle of the field here, none of these guys get used. None of these players in the linebacker position get used right now. The only thing I use them for is Nitschke. I will use in 3-4 blitz against 5 wide to send the heat, and then I have a user. I also use Kevin Green in that as a lurker, so I got 2 lurker, quote-unquote, middle linebackers at that point for free that I use in the 3-4 blitz. But I do have both tackle supreme on Rodney Harrison, and what is that? Secure tackler on Nolan Cromwell to help stop the run spam out of both Henry and Quadfather, right? So I got those two, plus the bigger deal is I have the Hitman, right? So Enforcer plus his ability, which auto causes avalanche, auto causes fumble on any downhill hit stick when he's activated. I've been thinking about going back to Prez. Prez is so good. Like there's two schools of thoughts. Either put him in the middle and have them like, just hit stick any running back right there, or put him on the outside and like cover 2 corners, drop him far back, and then if they throw in the flats, run up and hit something at that point. So there's a couple schools of thoughts, but I think I like having at least one, but I have dropped a lot of interceptions because I have no pick artist on Hitman. I got pick artist on Ed Reed. There's a lot of great sub linebacker users on defense. Probably the ones that I like the best. Kirby Joseph is phenomenal. I should sell him because he's very expensive. Kirby Joseph's really good. Derwin is free and really nice. I really like Dawkins' high card because it's free crusher, free enforcer, which is incredible. Prez, like I just talked about with the auto hit stick, but you want Prez's big card here, obviously. Bojack, I didn't sell him yet because he's limited and it was like minimum price. Williams is really nice because he gets flat zone and pick artist for 1. So like me, because I'm in nickel normal, he's oftentimes, playing cover 4, he's oftentimes flying out to the flats. So that knockout there really helps guys running like bench out of tight and everything. So that's really important for me. The other user I'm looking for is the other wildcard Wednesday guy. I sold him off, not Kirby Joseph, but Nick Cross. Nick Cross is another incredible user with his like 99 acceleration. So those are my best users. Rodney Harrison's nice for his tackle supreme and pick artist, of course. But I'm using Rodney Harrison in the nickel. So basically, Rodney Harrison with his tackle supreme will always, I have auto flip on, so we'll always flip to the strong side of the formation, which is generally where people run the most. So having my tackle supreme there is very important. And then kind of like a last line of defense here with the secure tackler on Cromwell. And then like obviously my gap shooter here, Hitman. He's caused some fumbles in some very clutch situations for me. So that's kind of important because it makes people afraid to run in the middle a little bit. You will still find some demons. Let's talk about the rest of the running game before I go talk about how I stop the passing game right now. So defensive line. I have Al Woods. Because he came out today, I was using him. Al Woods will end up moving back to a reserve role on my defense. Him and Haloti are my 2 inside stuffs that I will sub in if I face a runner. Now, the big key is to get 3 inside stuffs so that I can go 3-3-5 wide. And then have 3 inside stuffs so like the middle is very much shut down, okay? The issue with that is it's a non-legend card. It's like a 94 overall card that just came out. So it's fairly reasonably priced. I think is it a wild card Wednesday card or something? But I might end up getting that one so I can get a 3rd inside stuff to play 3-5Y, which I think is the best defense against the run in this year's game because a lot of people are running the ball. So that's a really good one. Otherwise, on the defensive line, I really like the pass rush of Milkman. I have the free bull rush and his ability as X Factor active. Along with, I really like this Mad Max Crosby. Usually I use this Mad Max Crosby on the edge, but because Hutchinson came out today, I used him. I really didn't see anything out of Hutchinson at all. So Mad Max Crosby without here. Generally, then I go Frank Clark and Mean Joe Green right here with Mean Joe Green's free bull rush and then Clark's defensive rally for free. So that way, like I can throw double or nothing on him. That way I can always have double or nothing being refreshed. I can have Mean Joe Green and Milkman's bull rush being all the way up at 5, which means that they're going to get those like, bull rush dominant get-offs, especially on 3rd and 4th down when the defensive rallies from Mad Max and from Frank Clark end up triggering, okay? And those defensive rallies trigger and then bring your passers points up to full, which triggers bull rush, okay? So that's why JJ and whatnot are here, and Frank Clark and Mean Joe are my number ones because those free bull rushes and defensive rallies. And then what's really nice about Mad Max is he makes it easy for me, and he just consistently wipes out offensive line resistance bars, so the pass rush stays strong the whole game through. All right, to stop the offensive plays, right, I call a cover 4. Every single player in my field needs to have deep out that will be a part of that cover 4. Otherwise, people can just run streaks, run past you. They can still get past you, but at least with deep out, knockout, you have a chance of actually knocking out their hands once they catch it. So Bradbury's got mid-zone, deep zone. Mills has mid-zone, deep zone. I actually prefer mid-zone, deep zone on my safeties for seam shotters, but there's only, I think, one safety in the game that gets that. And since Cromwell has played so well for me, I decided to stick with Cromwell with a secure tackler over, say, the mid-zone on, was that Kirby or Nick Cross? One of those two had the mid-zone combo for only 2. Mid-zone, deep zone, pick artist for 2. So that's a really, really good strong safety there. Peppers is the biggest boom or bust player in my entire field. Either he's getting beat deep because his play rec's too low and play action just kills him, or he's picking off like 2 balls a game on guys just trying to get over him because his size is so spectacular. I think he's got over 80 picks for me this year. Just being able to be 6'7", 295. I'm sure he's getting a little long in the tooth at play rec. Like I talked about, speed not up there with like the 97, 98 overall or speed demons. But because he's 295, with the exception of two cards, King Henry and A.J. Dillon, he's going to be able to bring down every single running back in the game. So really, I have two safeties that are incredible safety valves to stop the runners from really breaking it deep. The only issue is like maybe he can get outrun because he's only 9.5 speed, but they're basically guys that can hit in the box, have a big amount of weight to be thrown around, at least on Peppers. Cromwell's really more of a drag down type of guy. So anyways, and if they are seam shotting me a lot, if I notice seam shots are a big portion of the offense, Mills and Bradbury shift back to safeties. Then I'll throw like Cromwell and Peppers out at cornerback, and so it really I become like a rotating deck chair of defense, depending on how my opponent decides to attack me. If he's a seam shotter, you're getting mid zone knockouts there at safeties and cover 4, and we're gonna go on from that. So. If you want to know more about how I work my scheme against specific stuff, I literally just updated the ebook, like I said, in the membership area a few days ago. Definitely go watch that for how to attack and how to defeat the meta. Of course, if you like the meta, if you want to run the meta, go watch that ebook because I show all the best ways the meta is run. And so it's kind of like a 2-for-1. If you really like running Saints offense and tight and bunch and stuff, go watch that video too. All right, so that is that on offense and defense. Ed Reed, like I could see the argument for other guys being better users. I'm already using Hitman, but like, dude, he's free, and I'm just gonna sell everybody else. So like Kirby Joseph, sure, maybe you can make the argument he's slightly better with that higher tackle, whatever, acceleration, height, but Ed Reed's free, right? And Ed Reed's basically as good as all of them, so I don't really see a reason to not use the free card. That you can get just from the comp pass as you're grinding up for full Gronk. So that's kind of that right there. So that's my team. Slot cornerbacks. I sub them out. The reason Carmichael's there is because I can't put Harrison. Song safeties at nickel cornerback apparently in that screen. Ronnie Lott is at CB4 for the crusher for kickoffs. Ed Reed is here, and I really should put like that was it 95 Culpepper. 95 Culpepper's an incredible, because he has free enforcer, incredible kickoff artist to try and cause fumbles there. So backup free safety, backup CB4, and then you kick it to their fullback, and these are the guys that are going to get the best chance at hitting. So Ed Reed, a little bit light on the hit, but I needed him just for the Legends chem right there. Otherwise, because I ran out of space in my team, otherwise you can run somebody like Hitman. I should probably put, the problem with Hitman is he's not a legend, so that's why it's tough putting him at free safety, because I lose that Legend chem. But maybe it's time to go to a legend punter, I don't know, and a legend kicker. We'll see. Anyways, that is the lineup update. Hopefully that has helped you at all. And sorry I rambled for so long in the lineup, but there's a lot to talk about with how I run my offense and defense. All right, bye.